So up next, we have Farhia Ali Abdi. She is a youth employment counselor with the City of Ottawa and co-founder of Somali Women's Circle Network. Farhia strongly believes mental health as a crucial component of personal health. She has been explicitly promoting mental health and social justice issues in Somalia. This includes women's rights, youth, and gender equity. Farhia is a researcher and has written several articles on women, youth, and mental health issues about Somalia. Farhia is a strong advocate of mental health integration into primary health care services, particularly in Somalia. She has over 13 years of experience with municipal government as case coordinator, project officer, and employment specialist. Farhia has an extensive practical counseling experience working with women, youth, and families. Farhia has been advocating and working with Somali women and youth in the diaspora and in Somalia for more than 20 years. Farhia holds Masters of Interdisciplinary Studies in Work, Organization, and Leadership, and certificates in Project Management, Facilitation Skills, and Conflict Resolution, a BA in Psychology. Her interests include grassroots community development, mentoring, program development, and evaluations.
Assalamu alaikum. First, I would like to thank young generation, Somali young generation that put together this event. It's a wonderful to see and Somali youth that are organizing themselves and that are thinking of the issues that are involved in their own community. So, kudos to you. Mental health is a very important aspect of in any society, and Somalia in particular, it has not been a very good aspect of the community. I would like to just talk about it a bit because I haven't gotten into much of a detail because of time strain. So I am going to just gonna do a bit of a history of the mental health in Somalia, and I'm gonna look into what mental health is and the difference between mental health and mental illness. And if time permits, we're gonna be looking at, I'm gonna share with you video clips. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear myself. No? That's what I thought. I'm not hearing myself that well. Not that I had a big voice to. So I'm going to be looking at a bit of a history. Is it okay? Better? I think it's better now. Look at what mental health is and the difference between mental health and mental illness. We're going to look at a clip video that I'm going to be sharing with you. One is a YouTube. One of the organizations that mental health article that I put in last year. One of the organizations went to Somalia and they did a video. So I'm going to share that with you. And then also there's a DVD that thanks to Man Hadi, I get to get this morning. So I will show you a few of it because it's really interesting. It goes to the heart of what I'm trying to tell you today. So for those of you who don't know much about the history of Somalia, Somalia was colonized by the British and the Italian early 1900s and gained its independence 1960. The population is estimated to be 8 to 11 million people. That's the information we have so far. When it's achieved its independence, 1960, they have developed a little bit, basic health care system. However, in the 70s, when there was the military regime, there were a change in mental health. They've tried to do a bit better health system, which they have built the schools and universities and nursing programs. However, as you all know, Somalia in 1991 went into a civil war, and that whatever mental and health system that we had collapsed, and millions of people end up having nothing. So for now, at the moment, though we do have a government, there is no health policy in place or health laws or anything yet, at least. Last year, October 2013, the Minister of Social Development, Health and Education, Higher Education, Marian Qasim, had hosted a conference, professional health conference, and that intentions were to do a consultation so that they can understand and figure out what to do. So they needed support from the diaspora within the Somali community in Somalia. So that's a good news. So at least there is a process, and they're thinking that they're going to be needing help. So I'm hoping that something good will come out of that, and then we will be having health system, because it's really needed. Right now, whatever support that people getting, it's coming from the international and local organizations and the community, because there's nothing else there. So what is mental health? Mental health is an indispensable part of our health and has been defined by WHO, which is the World Health Organization, as a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential and can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to her or his community. Mental illness, on the other hand, refers to a suffering disability or mobility due to a mental and neurological substance use disorder, which can arise due to the genetic, biological, psychological makeup of individual, as well as adverse social conditions and environmental factors. So it's different, because this is caused by an event that is beyond the person's control. So when you have a mental health, it's not your fault. It's something that happened to you, and that you need to be treated. A lot of people, as we all know in our culture, we do have a ways of coping with things we don't understand, and mental health is one of them. So when someone is not feeling well, we always try to find a solution, and we'll either say you need some mingis lagatomo. Mingis is bad spirit that needs to be exorcised. So I would like to then now share, can I put the video DVD first, please? This is a DVD that's been made in Minneapolis, North America. And it really goes to the heart of what I'm trying to say. It talks about a family that is dealing with mental health. So we're going to see it's called the Regal Shidat. Wonderful. This is people put together to just educate the public. But what I'm going to show you next is an actual event that a doctor's office in Somalia, where mental health people are actually there.
waxaa degmada Carmo ee gobolka Bari lagu soo gabagabiyay baaris caafimaad oo ay ka faa'iideysteen 170 qof oo qabay xanuunka dhimirka qalalka suuxdinta waxaana barnaamijkani fulinayay hay'adda Somali Mental Health. Dr. Cabdiqani Sheekh Cabdullaahi Askar oo ku takhasusay dhammaan cudurrada ku dhaca dhimirka ayaa waxa uu sameeyay baaris lacag la'aan ah iyo daaweyn si bilaash ah lagu siiyay dhammaan dadkii ka faa'iideystay barnaamijkani. qaar ka mid ah shaqaalaha MCH-ka degmada Carmo ayaa waxa loo qabtay tababar ku aadan xanuunka dhimirka iyo sida loola tacaali karo dadka qaba xanuunkani si ay u caawiyaan haddii ay arkaan kiisas noocan oo kale ah. waxayna madaxda Somali Mental Health ay sheegeen in tababaradani laga bixin doono magaalooyin badan si dadka loo fahansiiyo in wax laga qaban karo cudurka dhimirka oo dhibaato ba'an ku hayo ummadda Soomaaliyeed. ugu horeyntii Dr. Cabdiqani Sheekh Cabdullaahi Askar ayaa ka hadlay barnaamijkani caafimaad oo ay hay'adda Somali Mental Health ay ka fulisay degmada Carmo ee gobolka Bari.
ururkaasi waxa weeyaan urur hadda la aasaasay oo cusub, waxaana fikradda keenay Soomaalidii dad Soomaaliya oo qurbo jooga oo dhakhtar ah iyo dad aqoon-yahan iyo dad ganacsato isku wada jira. marka wadanka Soomaaliya dhan way midaysiin, waxay arkeen dhibaatada ka taagan dadka dhimirka iyo neerfaha ay wadankooda ka taagan. maanta waxay xaruntan magaalada Carmo waxay nasiib u yeelatay traineeraas oo muddo badan socon doona. waxay u yeelatay magaalada Carmo inay noqoto magaaladii ugu horeysay ee loo qabto trainingkan iyo dadkii laga daweeyey. Hadda maanta waxaan aragnay ilaa iyo dad 170 qof oo isku wada jira neerfaha iyo suuxdinta iyo dhimirka intaba. waxaan kaloo rajeynaa inuu ilaahay dadka caafin doono kulli ilaahay badooda haya.
gudoomiyaha degmada Carmo Ibrahim Shire Maxamed ayaa soo dhaweeyay ururka Somali Mental Health oo markii ugu horeysay barnaamij caafimaad oo sidaan oo kale ah ka fuliyay degmada Carmo ee gobolka Bari.
waxaan marka hore u mahad celinaynaa ururka Somali Mental Health intii hadda ay nala joogeen oo muddadii 3 bari ahayd maanta ugu dambeysay shaqo weyn bay ka qabteen dad aad u fara badan oo anagu ma ka maamulhaan iyo shacab ahaan filayn inay ku nool yihiin dad inta leeg oo xanuunada qaba inay deegaanada ku nool yihiin oo lagu hayo oo guriga lagu hayo oo silsiladaysan qaarkood oo ku dhiban inay dadkaas u jireen ma aan ogeyn runtii aad baan ugu faraxsanahay ilaahay baa dawada haysta laakiin dadaal bay muujiyeen.
qaar ka mid ah dadka ku dhaqan degmada Carmo ayaa ka hadlay sida ay u arkaan baarista caafimaad oo ku aadan dhanka dhimirka suuxdinta jeexqalalka loo sameeyay dadka ku dhaqan degmada Carmo.
waxaanu codsanaynaa in naloo furo xarun aan inaga daweysa ama naga caawisa barnaamijkaas maadaama degmadu ballaaran tahay dad badan oo aad cudurrada u qaba dhimirkana ay laaban yihiin oo aan weli la gaarin.
waxaana ahay dadka daawada doonayay oo meesha u soo galay waxna laga siiyey kuna liibaanay aad iyo aad faa'iidada uga helay waanu u mahadnaqaynaa kuwa joogay iyo kuwa daawada keenay kulligoodba waanu u mahadnaqaynaa.
aad iyo aad baanu u soo dhawaynaynaa haddaanu nahay bulshada degmada Carmo waayo faa'iidada aanu ka helay dad badan oo naafaysan dad oo aad u liita oo xataa laga keenay tuulooyinka dad maaragtay aad dhiman u qaba oo waalan oo aad maaragtay daawo maaragtay oo ka faa'iideystay.
ururka Somali Mental Health ayaa waxaa aasaasay dhaqaatiir iyo aqoon-yahano ku sugan qurbaha waxa uuna ka diiwaan gashan yahay dalka Mareykanka. ujeedada loo aasaasay ururkan ayaa waxaa lagu sheegay in dadka Soomaaliyeed laga daaweeyo xanuunada dhimirka maadaama dalka Soomaaliya lagu tiriyo dalalka ay saameynta ku yeelatay dagaalada iyo colaadaha ka dhaca dalka waxaana la filayaa haddii si dhab ah hawshan loo qabto in dad badan oo haatan ka xanuunsanaya dhimirka ay heli doonaan caafimaad insha Allah. Abdurrahman Maxamed Ali.
For those of you, I'm sorry that was all Somali, so the young generation were having a difficult understanding it. The mayor was saying that they were even surprised how many people that were having a mental health issue that were in houses chained, and that when they heard someone was coming to treat them, everyone brought their child, their sister, brother, husband, wife, just unchained them and brought them to the doctor. So that is that's what this is. The picture. This was on my article, but it is more humane, I think, when I've seen the other pictures that are people with a mental health, what has been done to them. So this is what we do if we, when we don't know how to deal with people that are having problems, mental health problems that we don't have a solution for. So this way, the belief is if we keep them here, then they're safe. They're not harming themselves and they're not harming others. So it's a way of copying an issue that is beyond their control. So why are we talking about mental health or mental illness in Somalia now? As I don't know if you all know, but mental illness has been on the rise everywhere, even with the developed world. In some parts in Europe, Canada here last year, report came out, youth mental health was increased a bit. In Somalia, the rampant mental health, it's more damaging because of what's happening. I mean, there's nothing more damaging than someone who is suffering a health issue that they cannot get treatment. But in Somalia, according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 3 Somalis have been affected by some kind of mental illness, a prevalence which is higher than any other countries, the low-income and war-torn countries. Many Somalis are experiencing experienced the beating, torture, rape, to literally, more than that, and with permanent trauma and physical injury. Other witnessed horrible violence against families and neighbors and friends. Many Somalis with mental illness are socially isolated and vulnerable, and many mental ill are generally chained, as we saw on that clip. So because of what is happening in Somalia, and because of the trauma and the situation that they're in, it exacerbates whatever, it exacerbates the mental health. So the types of mental health that doctors reporting, the psychosis, depression, bipolar, manic, and epilepsy, childhood disorder, PTSD, schizophrenia, substance abuse, all these are things that the doctors have noticed to those who are in the country that are treating the mentally ill. So this is the symptoms. These symptoms are normal mental health symptoms. The only difference is that people don't have enough doctors or enough medical support that can assess them, diagnose them, and treat them. So it just, literally, people don't know what to do. And culturally, mental health, we don't really deal with, we don't know mental health, mental illness. We know someone is sick or it's not sick. There's nothing in between. You cannot be half sick and half healthy, right? So that's not something we culturally really dealt with. So people always, when they have to deal with, the things that are not being understood, it's more like, well, it must have caused by something else. So the mental problems provided by people like we saw in that video, you call for a sheikh with that, Quran Inusara, which is good. You go and go to a healer, traditional healer, which is take this bad spirit that the person is experiencing and, do what is the word? Exorcism? Yeah. So those kind of beliefs really are not helping anymore because the tragedy is too great now. People are facing things that they human should not be experiencing. So it's too much that nothing that worked before is working anymore. So what do they do then? So all the beliefs that we've talked about for mental health, with the lack of a vision for with the government that we have now, made things worse. But because people are now thinking other things, well, we know we're sick, we know what worked for us and not working for us anymore. What do we do? And so now there's a beginning to, there's an understanding of there must be something else. Now we have to, there's an open-mindedness that are coming on the surface now. Well, I will, thanks to people like the people who are leaving from the diaspora and people who are already in the country who understand the greatness of this tragedy, who are trying to help people because they see them. They see them on the streets, they see them be chained on trees, they see them being isolated. So they took a matter into their own hands and they're trying to ease their pain. Local diaspora, so they really, that gave them people an opportunity to consider other methods of healing. So when I was looking at the mental health for people that I've come across were Dr. Habib, who is located in Mogadishu, and he has a facility there. And Dr. Habib goes to the streets in Mogadishu, and he collects people on the streets that have been abandoned, or he sees people that have been chained on the trees and he unchains them and he brings to his facility just to give them the dignity they deserved. There is other doctors all over the country, facilities at least. There's not a lot of specialized psychiatrists in the country, not a lot, at least there's been said 3. So there's a Dr. Jabril Handuleh, who also runs the community mental health in Boroma, gets the support from the Amud University. And there's other facilities that are Hargeisa, Berbera, Galkacyo, Garowe, and then there is the ones that are leaving from diaspora. And I think my article was based on them, people who are leaving from the diaspora, because I think there's a greater need for them, for those who have the profession, a health profession, to be in the country supporting these people who are in dire need. So what they have been doing is something that really supported the locals. People are beginning to understand now. They're not hiding anymore. Now they know where to go. When the doctors are coming to their area, they're actually seeking for treatment, and it's not a taboo anymore. It's not something that they be ashamed of, or they feel helpless to deal with. So that is really something very good for the community. Because of them, now there is an understanding of mental health, or at least the beginning of understanding of mental health, what mental health is. So what is the solution now? The person, individual self-identity and capacity to flourish is deeply influenced by their social surroundings, including the opportunity to form relationship, engage with those around them, family members and colleagues and friends. We all know that. That's very helpful. Many Somalis with mental illness are socially isolated. The pain of this isolation is felt intensely because Somali culture is traditionally communal and family oriented. And we talk a lot, so if you don't have that, then you can imagine the pain that will cause. So loneliness, social isolation, and difficulties with communication all heightens the risk of developing and prolonging mental illness. Therefore, healthy relationship with their surroundings is crucial to people with mental illness. Creating mental awareness is and empowering in an area of mental health is a key to treating the disease. The current Somali government also needs, this is the sort of the recommendations I had in my article, so I thought it would be nice to mention it. So having collaborative work between the government and the community, whether they're in the diaspora or inside the country, is really going to help to lessen that tragedy, and integrating mental health into the primary health care services, so mental health can be seen as an essential part of health care. Support services providers and users alike to understand and promote human rights, the recovery relationships, relationship of mental illness, as to recognize mental health is a crucial component of a personal health. I think if we do that, there will be an understanding and there will be a support for the mental health, people who are suffering from mental health, and that will be a responsibility for all of us. So what can you as an individual do to support? I just put together, if you are interested in talking to these brave men and women that are working in Somalia, whether they live in from the diaspora or within Somalia, then please contact them. I'm gonna leave their contact here. Women, as a Women Circle Network, we also know mental health is, everything happens in your community always is a greater for women. So if you need to support Somali Women Circle Network or volunteer or talk to us and tackling on some of the issues about women, then you can contact us on the number on that screen. Thank you very much.